Savage Dragon number 57 from January of 1999. No bullshit on this cover. Round 3 of Dragon versus Overlord is what waits for us inside. But let's quickly get the credits out of the way. Erik Larsen, writer and artist. Chris Eliopoulos, letterer. Josh Ekorn, choking hazard. Small parts, not for children under 6. So in the previous issue, the man with the bullet hole in his head here, Detective William Johnson, he was shot by his brother Ralph, seen weirdly grinning in this panel. And Ralph had kidnapped William's fiance, fellow officer Rita Metermaid, seen here in the wedding dress. But then, so after William was shot, the dragon, also seen here with the bullet hole in his forehead, he took over William's body. So he's resurrected and he was kicking Ralph's ass until Ralph opened a door to reveal the armor of Overlord, seen here saying, "Game over." You know, I see why Larsen doesn't do a previous issue recap on the credits page, because screw that. That's too much work. So the two best things about Savage Dragon are the double-page spreads and the shocking, violent deaths. And you get both of them here, as Overlord just obliterates Ralph Johnson with a blast from his gauntlets, leaving his body a smoldering pile of ashes. And then instead of a fight breaking out between Dragon and Overlord, these two dudes have a conversation because, frankly, they're both kind of surprised to see each other. Mostly because both of them are dead. Overlord died back in issue 21, and then Dragon in issue 50. So they're both like, what the fuck? You're supposed to be dead. How are you alive again? Then a hostage negotiation is kind of settled. Overlord will release the hostage, Rita, if Dragon goes and puts his superhero costume on with the fin and everything. So he agrees. And now all the cops outside know that Dragon is inside William's body. But he tells them that William might be dead because he can't hear his thoughts like when they shared their psychic conversations. So there's a quick appearance over here of the new deadly duo. And Killcat has been reduced to teaming up with one of our favorites, Bubble Boy, back here, who we last saw trying out for Brute Force a few issues ago. But anyway, Rock shows up and he tells Killcat that the SOS wants him. And little does he know, he's about to get put on trial for blowing up Godworld back in issue 54, maybe. So Overlord has Rita hostage, and they're talking. He's like, I'm not going to hurt you. But then suddenly Dragon's burst his arms through the wall here, and he grabs her, pulling Rita to safety. So these dudes can finally settle their never-ending feud. Starts with a classic test of strength, like a couple of professional wrestlers. Then they start exchanging blows. And, you know, Larsen always delivers great action in fights, but also dialogue. And the Dragon is kind of trying to figure out who is inside this Overlord armor, if it's like Sagetti or somebody else. But then as it appears that Overlord has the upper hand, all of a sudden his weapons seem to have like a minor effect on the Dragon. And even though this is William's body, it appears that all the attributes of the OG Savage Dragon are here. So anyway, this scares the hell out of Overlord because his weapons aren't doing shit. And so he starts screaming for the Dragon to stay away from him. And he just kind of flies away like a coward. And Dragon is just like laughing at this clown. He's like, that's right, run, you pussy. So, but despite that, Dragon just collapses. I guess he was just like no-selling the damage to Overlord, but then he passes out after telling Rita that there's no sign of William in his head. And so she just fucking loses it. And then finally there's the reveal of Cadaver. No longer Abner Cadaver. It's just Cadaver now. He's been reassembled with body parts from multiple dead gods, like this head and this torso. And then he's also got Dragon's severed arm right here. But his lower half is actually Dark Lord. So you remember Dark Lord from back in like issue 43, 44. Dark Lord got his lower half severed by the portal when the portal shut off. And so he got severed in half, literally leaving his ass on Earth there. Well, now his ass belongs to Cadaver. So that's a pretty great issue. Onto the letters page, which is noteworthy for this strip that appears for the first time. Savage Dragon Bert and Hitler's Brain Bert by Carl H. Obviously a parody of Dilbert and Dogbert, the popular Scott Adams comic strip. So this Dragon Bert was very well received by the fans, and it will become a regular feature. And it's pretty fun. And this can only happen in Savage Dragon, where this kind of thing can have some success. Even at this point in 1999, like there weren't letters pages like the one here in Fanatics. So this is kind of special. Got a couple of pinups. I like this one by Bob Fingerman. Then there's the Megaton backup feature and Desperate Times. Desperate Times, which actually includes scenes from the issue of Savage Dragon, like Overlord flying away right there. I think it's like the same panel there as the background. Anyway, so finally we got the ad for issue 5 of Desperate Times advertised on the back. I believe this is the last issue of the regular Desperate Times series. I think it's canceled after that. But Savage Dragon continues with issue 58.